What's going on, everyone? Finally back to making videos again. Currently on my way about an hour from home. Obviously this isn't going to be a studio video. Plan to get back to those. Just to give an update for everyone though, if you haven't already noticed what's going on with the channel, probably going to start being a little bit different. I don't really have the time on my hands at this point to make a lot of lengthy podcast style videos. So videos are just going to start being a lot quicker. The goal is to try to aim somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes for a video, 15 minutes tops. I just don't have the time to get in and put a lot of lengthy stuff together. Obviously you've got the time involved it takes to record video like that. So obvious reasons, I've changed the name of the channel. It's now Lone Wolf Ace, not the Lone Wolf Podcast. If I get to the point where I can start inviting on guests and things like that again, then I will label those videos like Lone Wolf Podcast episode, so on and so forth. But let's talk about the thing everyone's talking about, midterm elections. Oh boy. We heard about this massive red wave that was supposed to come. I don't think that happened. What's it looking like now? That you're gonna have probably the Republicans will get a small lead in the House. Looked for a while like they may be able to pull out a 50-50 split in the Senate. Maybe a 51, but that was looking very unlikely. And now it's looking more like it's either going to be 50-50 or 51-49. They had a lead that held on for about 3 days in Nevada. But that lead has since gone away. The Democrat candidate for the Senate seems to be winning the Senate election. Apparently the Republican governor in Nevada won, but the Democrats Senate candidate is going to be the winner, or at least it looks like, in the Nevada election. Probably still going to keep a Republican in Alaska, and Georgia is now going to a runoff. So if Herschel Walker can somehow pull it out in Georgia in this runoff election, but I don't know that he will, then they're at minimum going to have 50-50 again. Okay? So, Republicans did not get this grand red wave that we've heard about for weeks to months now. And I'm going to be honest. Granted, I can't point to a previous video really like I can usually do because I haven't been able to make them lately. But I've been saying this shit for over a month. I've been saying this for a while. I'm like, there ain't gonna be no damn red wave. Look, I could have been wrong. There was a part of me that started to wonder, well, maybe. Because the Democrats are absolutely fucking worthless. They're garbage. But Republicans? We're talking about a political party who just supported the overturn of Roe v. Wade. Very unpopular with a large percentage of the country. On top of that, then you start hearing the damn rumbling, well, what should we do about gay marriage next? How about you should not have a right to contraception? Oh, that's just fucking brilliant. So people who don't want to have kids but want to be able to have certain relations with their spouse or girlfriend or fiance or what the hell ever, okay? If you get an unsuspected surprise, you can't get an abortion. Oh, and you might not even have a right to be able to, use the thing we've been preaching to these teenagers for years and years and years, which is have safe sex. Oh no, you might not get that either. You don't got no right to birth control, no right to, condoms. Like, this doesn't take a genius to figure out here, folks. Democrats may not be great, but in 2022, the only people who think that is just spectacular wisdom are the hardcore evangelical crowd. Now, I'm not here to debate whether any of this shit's moral. Should it be allowed? Look. Okay. I've got a stance on abortion. Do I think it should be outlawed entirely? No. Okay. There are medical things where I think that, the mother should be able to have a choice. There are also things like rape and incest and shit that's happening to little girls. And then we start hearing these horror stories about as soon as, Roe v. Wade got overturned by the court, and then some of these damn trigger laws went into effect. Guess what the hell happened? You had little girls being forced to carry babies to term after being, like, raped and shit. I mean, that's just sick. That's just sick. And I have a very hard time believing that for all the Bible-thumping Christians out there, that you think that the Jesus you preach about so much would want a child to have to go through something like that. That shit's just sick, man. So don't thump your fucking religion in my face, okay? I'm not an atheist, but that's one reason why I do not like the Bible thumping crowd. I mean, it's ridiculous. And also, don't come at me with this whole thing about religion and abortion, because there's stuff in the Bible where abortions were induced by the husbands if they suspected the wife had cheated. It's called drinking the bitter water. Look it up. Okay? Well, I mean, this just goes to show Republicans had this shit for a long time in the palm of their hands. In the palm of their hands. They would have trounced in the midterm elections if they didn't turn into these religious fanatics all of a sudden. Because the Democrats were not doing a damn thing for people. They promised $2,000 checks. Well, we can't do that. What else did they fill? A $15 an hour minimum wage? Nope, didn't deliver on that either. Legalizing marijuana? Nah, we ain't gonna get that done either. How about healthcare in the middle of the pandemic? Nope, we can't make that happen. The Democrats have been an abysmal failure. They had not delivered. And before anybody starts pointing out, oh, well, Joe Biden and student debt. Yeah, how well did that work out? I'm pretty sure that, Sabby Sabs had a real good breakdown of what happened there. I don't always agree with RBN on everything, but I would say they just about pegged what the game plan here was on that student debt cancellation. Okay? They did this shit right before the midterms. Oh, kind of like how codifying Roe v. Wade. Go back to that shit too. Wasn't that one of Obama's big campaign promises back in 2008? He had a bulletproof Senate, over 60 Democrats, and the House of Representatives. He didn't even get that shit done. Okay? Then Democrats got control again in 2020. Crickets. Don't get it done. And they let the Republicans and the Republican court overturn it. And by not codifying it, this is the result. So they're just as much to blame for this bullshit. Every time they've had the ability to try to do something, they won't do it. And you know why? Because they don't give a shit about it. You know what? Half the damn women who are Democrats in these elected offices are so fucking old they don't need an abortion anyway. And as far as the young ones who do, well, if they ever need one, guarantee you they're going to find the means and resources to get their own. So they don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a shit what they say. They don't give a fuck about you. Okay? They've already shown that. They're fucking cucks to Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the Democrat establishment. That's the whole fucking squad. And if you don't believe that, wake up. They do not care. And the whole game plan has been to dangle these little things like student debt cancellation, like codifying Roe v. Wade. They want to dangle it in front of your face like that shiny little object. Just like that fucking commercial where the guy's got the money on the end of the fishing pole. Oh, you've almost had it. You got to be quicker than that. And that's always their excuse. They got this never-ending fucking boogeyman. Whether it be Joe Manchin or Kirsten Sinema, there's always somebody in the way. If the Republicans are in charge, that's the boogeyman. But if the Democrats get in charge, well, there's always some shit-ass Democrat somewhere who just doesn't want to go along with things. So, guess what? We can't get anything done. That's the MO. That's what they do. That's what they do. And so Joe Biden, you know, they broke this down very well. He comes out with student debt cancellation, right? And the thing he's citing to cancel student debt is powers that were given, I think, back during the Bush administration, right? And it says that during a national emergency, the president would then have the ability to do so on and so forth. Okay. So he cites COVID as a natural emergency for why he's going to cancel student debt. Joe, where the fuck you been in the last 2 years? What did it take you catching COVID for the second or third fucking time to realize it was around? COVID's been here for a while, my man. Where in the fuck were you? Oh, you cancel it after you came out and admitted on TV the pandemic was over. Oh, wow. So guess what they're all using, all the conservatives, to fight back and not allow that cancellation to happen. They got it struck down in the courts, and they're using your own fucking words to defeat it, Joe. I mean, that's just great, isn't it? So to all these people, well, they're trying. No, fuck you. They're not trying. They want this shit as fucking leverage so they can dangle it in your face and tell you, now, if you don't do this for us, then of course we can't do anything. That's how they keep winning elections. That's how Democrats win. The Republicans are such fucking knuckleheads that they go do stupid shit, and the Democrats will allow them to fuck something up for the people, for working class people. They will not stand in the way. They will allow them to screw up shit for certain people, for their own damn base. For their own base. They give more of a fuck about allowing the opposition party to do shit to piss off their base than they actually do about fucking helping their base. Isn't that quite the fucking twist? Like, normally you win an election by delivering for your constituents, but not these motherfuckers. Oh, no. They don't care about that. They only want to allow the opposition party to do things so that it can then piss off their base, dangle it in their face, and then get their vote through a fucking fear campaign. That's all that's going on. I mean, it is absolutely unreal. And fucking people can't see the shit. They can't fucking see it. Probably ain't gonna see this video either because of lovely algorithms. But, I mean, this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all in on a little secret. During my hiatus, I haven't been able to keep up with a lot of things, especially in more indie media circles, but I do have some things to say about some indie media stuff. My man Franco did a pretty good video on it a while back, actually. But I got some comments for that will be coming later on. But gonna be honest. During my break, I have adopted a lot of nihilist views. I'm getting to become very, very, very nihilist at this point. I'm not even gonna lie. This fucking ship is headed for the damn iceberg, man. And I don't think there's much fucking stopping it at this point. There really ain't. Hell, the damn means of trying to convince people are throttled like hell. The people who make it so far tend to only, at a certain point, have their brands in mind at that point. So they're more concerned with a brand than, you know, taking chances and having to risk shit. You still got to try to work within a system just to survive. And what good's it do? You know, third parties getting elected. And in the current system, if they do, hell, they're just as liable to get corrupted too. You didn't remove the things in place that are causing the damn corruption. So what the fuck did you really accomplish? You changed one political party out for another, and then they're likely to get corrupted too. But if you look at the results, hell, even in the damn middle of Democrats not delivering and Republicans going absolutely crazy, how many third-party people fucking won? How many? Like, if there were a time, nothing. It's crazy, man. Shit's crazy these days. I really don't know what else to say. But, obviously this one's coming up on the 17-minute mark here. So, you know, this isn't in the studio, and obviously I'm driving down the road, so I got plenty of time to kill. That's why I was able to kind of rant and go on for a little while. But if you agree with what I'm saying, you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Helps us out over here. Helps me out. Might help the video get around. Might, you know, help a few more people hear this message. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of people who need to hear some hard truth about the fact neither one of these parties fucking care about you. Okay? And only thing you're doing with running out there and voting back and forth between these two parties is you're playing one big giant fucking circle jerk. And I didn't go vote for him. I was like George Carlin. I was just like George Carlin. The only difference between what you do on election day and what I do on election day is I got a little something to show for it. And you fucking won't if you went and voted for one of those two parties. What you'll have to show for it is a whole lot more bullshit in a matter of time, because they're both just going to continue to ream you a fucking new one. So like I said, if you like the video, help me out, give it a good thumbs up. If you just find the channel, you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. Have more videos coming soon. Hope you're all doing well. The lone wolf is back, at least in some capacity. We'll see you next time right here. Take care, everyone.